The last of the snow. It's more like ice. The old fishing hole. See if I can get across here. Whew. It is about 31 degrees. I gotta worry about ice in the guides, so we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna head to my trusty location here and get things rolling. Get some of this mud off. There we go. Don't be fooled, the sun is out, but man, it is cold with that north wind. Welcome back, fishing friends, to another edition of Let's Freeze and Fish. Anyway, glad you're here. Oh man, we had that snowmageddon where we couldn't do anything for a while, but I gotta test some lures today, so thanks for hanging out with me while I do that. All right, let's get rolling. Well, we're gonna start off with this Strike King Hybrid Hunter, and I've got this on this Lucke Tour Performance TP2 bait casting setup, and I got an Obalis 2000. It's a nice reel, it's new. So we're gonna fire this around. I like this reel, it's a Texas product, and I fished it a little bit and it works out pretty well. I like this Hybrid Hunter. It gets down there a few feet, it's got some cool action. The thumping in it reminds me of a Bomber fat-free shad. It's got that heavy knocking. Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. Look at this thing cast like a charm. Like this rod, I got it for, it was like right about $100, but now they've dropped down to like 87. So if you're looking for a cool rod for a bait caster, they got them in different sizes. 6'8", 6'9", 6'10 are my wheelhouse. This one's 6'8", and I love the grips that Lucke uses. So this is a pretty cool little setup right here. So my initial impressions of this Hybrid Hunter is that this thing is pretty cool. Even in this cold water, man, this thing is nice. Cast a country mile. Oh yeah, I've got this on some Seaguar 10-pound fluoro. I'm usually a Sunline guy, but I had a bunch of this Seaguar that I got from I got it at the Classic. I don't know if it came with a purchase or somebody gave it to me, but I really like it. Man, this thing is nice. But anyway, so I don't mind throwing this. This will be a backup set of line for me. If something comes up where I'm not throwing the Sunline, there's not too much ice getting in the guides. This is frozen here. I got to be careful walking through here. But we had a lot of, first it was sleet, then it was snow. You feel that wind, man, it's got a bite to it. But even if I don't catch anything, I want to come out here and test some lures. I'm sure you guys want to see me catch something, but ooh, did you hear that? Something just busted out there. Yeah, we don't see the shad anymore flickering on the surface. Uh-oh, I'm slipping now. The temperature of the water just broke the 50-degree mark now, or below the 50-degree mark. All right. There we go. Well, guys, nothing on the hybrid hunter. Man, gave it a good shot. Not too much ice in the guides, just a little bit here and there. So good way to prevent that is if you get like a little bit of some people use Carmex, chapstick, little different types of oils you can put in there. All right, we're gonna throw this guy. It's not the time of year for it, but these are on sale over at Lucke Strike, Fish Lucky, Jimmy Houston, Toby Keith website there, and they're carrying on the legacy for him. But this is a scrounger head, and I never really fish scrounger heads ever. And so check this one out. It's got some nice action. I put this quiver, 6.5-inch quiver, on here from Missile Baits. I got these at the Classic. So we're gonna throw this around. This one I've got on the Bass X. This is a 6.6 bait caster, and this one's got one of these Cast King Spartacus 2 bait casters, and I've got fluoro on here. So we're just gonna run it up and down this seam here so I can get used to fishing it. I realize it's the wrong time of year, but man, I got it. Ooh, that wind. Whew. I got to get this sorted out now for the spring and summer, if that makes sense. So we're gonna bomb it around and hopefully pick something up here. Yeah, I like this little Cast King bait caster. There's a lot of different things you could put on the scrounger. I'm putting this worm on there, this quiver. You know that quiver makes a great trailer for a bladed jig, like a jackhammer, this time of year, because of that, how that tail design is. Whew. I love this color. It's probably one of my favorite colors in soft plastics, is that June bug. Anyway, so we're gonna rip it out there, let it do its thing. So usually with this I crank it for a little bit and then I kill it. That's just me. I don't really know much how to fish them because I don't fish them that much, but I always like to put pauses on everything. Plus it looks cool when you hop it along. It's got a pretty cool design to it. There we go. You know, oh man, look at that. I've caught stuff on the quiver, drop shotting it too. They have a smaller one. This one's 6.5. Then they've got a smaller, like a 4.5. Man, that wind has got a bite. Sheesh. So I'll let it sit there on the bottom and I'll twitch it a little bit. And then I'll start my little crank just in case something's watching. The cool thing about June bug, guys, is it'll work in really murky water and on a day like today. All right, guys, we're hooked up on the Fish Lucke Scrounger Scrounger head. Check this out. In these cold temps. Ooh, come on, buddy. Let's go. Get up here. Look at that. Sorry about the mud. Check that out. There it is, right there. Boy, he just smoked it. I got to get him back in the water because of how cold it is. But check him out. That's a nice fish. Got a little bit of ice in the guides, but man, he just hammered it. There you go, buddy. That's it right there. Good stuff. Fun to fish with too. Oh my gosh, guys, that was fun. Testing this out. Never really throwing it before. You can pick these up at Lucke Strike, Fish Lucke. Go over there and help them out, because they've been in some a bit of a transition there because the passing of Toby Keith, and then they're trying to get new product out and get things rolling, and they got some guys helping them out there. Jimmy Houston's got his spinner baits there. They have a lot of good products, so go check them out. They're a really cool company there. They always have good deals. They got new stuff coming out all the time. I need to fish it, but I've got one of their Hail Mary lipless crankbaits. That's what's up next after I'm done fishing this. But anyway, I'm happy I caught something on this. Learning it, trying to figure it all out. Man, that was a lot of fun. All right, guys, this mud, it's not frozen, so it's like super slick. Crazy stuff. You can see a little bit of ice in there. All right, so I got that new series going on the channel with jig tying stories. Check some of those out. I love telling those stories because I'm gonna forget them, you know. So I get them on film. They're there. I can kind of go back and watch them when I'm an old person. Anyway, give it a shot. This scrounger, if you had never fished one, give it a shot. It is a cool thing to fish with. I'm gonna put one of my giant Mr. Twisters or a 6 cents, one of those really big worms, because it'll get that action even more play down there. Anyway, so what I was saying was, go check out that series. I got a bunch of crazy stories that I've experienced while teaching, and with the fishing videos, I like to have them so I can go back and watch them one day. And they're pretty funny. I'm terrible at tying the jigs, although I have fun doing it. But the videos are there they're pretty good. I mean, the stories are pretty good. Man, this wind, you know, I always say Texas never has a winter. North Texas anyway. And when I was in Amarillo, definitely winter time there. But here, it doesn't really get cold. But man, when we get these weird storms that come through, these bomb cyclones or whatever they call them, then winter does show up here. And I do know something about winter, not just from Amarillo, and it does get cold there. With that flat and that wind. Whew. Ooh. But being up in Iowa, northeast Iowa, some of the coldest places in the States in terms of winter time. I mean, it's just brutal up there. So when we get some times when, right off the end of that structure, so we get weather like this, I can't be telling everybody, oh, we don't get a winter here. I guess you could say in general they don't really get a winter here, but oh well. Contradicting myself over and over. Man, this thing's fun to fish with. This Scrounger. That's one good thing, guys, about not being sponsored by anybody. I don't really do any of this to make money, or, I mean, you guys already know that. I just do it for fun, and I want to be able to look back on these videos, but I get to fish all different kinds of stuff to test it out. I'm not having to, fill video quotas for products and things. If somebody sends me stuff just to send it, because they know I love fishing, I don't mind that. But you know what I mean? To do like a collaboration and to get like a commission or something, phew, no way. Because then I would lose a lot of that time that, just having fun testing new things. Oh man, this thing is cool. All right, one more time by this obstruction, and then we're gonna switch over to that Hail Mary, that lipless. God, that wind is just brutal. All right, let's go check out that Hail Mary. It's kind of a wide-bodied lipless. I prefer the real slender ones, and like the medium-sized ones, like a Strike King red-eyed shad, or like a old-school rattle spot or rattle trap. But I never thrown one this wide before. The only one that I ever throw that's kind of wide is the one from Livingston Lures, because it's got that EBS inside of it, that electronic bait system, and so that thing will get a little bit of width to it. Man, I'm sliding all over this. Whew. What am I doing? I could be casting here on the way back. Did you hear that? Whew. That's from that worm. All right, guys, here it is at Hail Mary from Lucke Strike. Check out where the line tie is. Up at the top there. I do have a little speed clip Ooh, that does look good. That way it's easier for me to do that when I'm testing lures. Man, that thing casts a country mile, but the sploosh on it is a bit heavy. Let's get the yo-yoing going. Sometimes I'll let it sit there a little bit, let them take a look at it. That's not bad. It's a cool little lure right there. It's got a nice shine to it. Casts it a country mile. Now sometimes I don't yo-yo it when I'm running along the edge of the bank like this. I'll just do a straight retrieve and kill it. The yo-yoing is when I know where I'm a little bit deeper water. But sometimes I'll change it up and do it anyway. Thing's got a nice rattle to it. All right, the Hail Mary. I can't remember the weight on this thing. 3/8 maybe? I don't know, ½ ounce. Go check it out at the website though. I have some other ones coming in that I ordered from a different company. I'm not going to say anything yet, but let me just say they're super thin. Oh yeah, check that out. Man, that does look cool. So if that thing hits on the bottom and just sits there, it's upright. Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, we're just gonna do a straight retrieve here and kill it. Not too shabby. Let's take another look at it up close. See how wide that is? Look at that from the bottom. Tapers back. It's a cool lure. Got a nice paint job on it. So if you like throwing lipless, you want something different, check that out. All right, guys, check out the heron tracks. And of course, I had to walk right over them. But you can see where they've just been crapping everywhere. They've been just inhaling. And look at all the other little shorebirds. They've been inhaling these shad. The shad aren't flickering around, but I can see little flashes down there of them. All right, guys, we're hooked up on a Johnson spoon here with a little, I've got a little feathered treble on the back of it. I was throwing the bomber slab spoon. I didn't get anything for a while. Nothing on that, but this guy, boy, he just whacked it right here. Check that out. I still hadn't made the official. Oh, come on, I'm slipping. Whew. Man, that's a gorgeous fish right there. Check that out. I still hadn't made the spoon challenge video. I mean, it's pretty much done, but I keep getting different spoons I want to test out, like this one. I don't want this guy in this cold air for too long. Check that out. Man, that's a gorgeous fish right there. All right, you ready, buddy? There you go. Man, that was fun to catch. All right, so I was throwing the Bomber slab spoon, which is heavier, more kind of a white polka dotted pattern. And then this guy has a different hook on it. I put a feathered treble, but I kept those little red bits of plastic on there. Kind of looks like a little, well, it's just a little attractant. But this one's the Johnson Sprite in gold. Man, that wind is cold. So I just, typical spoon, fire it out there. Ha! The wind knocked that one down. I don't have ice on the guides really, but the wind. So I was just letting it flutter around. There you can see it. Man, that wind. Whew. All right, guys, I'm wrapping it up here with the Hybrid Hunter. Nothing on it today. I did feel one thump, but it was because it was getting hung up down there in a little bit of cabbage. But I'm going to have fun throwing this. I really like this. It gets down to those depths, kind of like a bomber does. 14 and 15A. It just gets down there just a couple feet. But I'm going to like throwing this thing. It gets down there just a couple feet. You can fish it through all kinds of cover. How this design is. It's a pretty cool lure. And they make a junior size in it too. I need to test out. Pretty good right there. All right, guys, it's gonna wrap it up for me for today. Boy, it is still cold. Checking the temperature, 31 degrees. Man, I had a lot of fun though testing those lures. But it's gonna warm up. We got about a week of some warm weather coming in, mid to high 50s, and it's gonna get super, one of those bomb cyclone things is gonna come in. Anyway, all right, so even as cold as it is here for this area in North Texas, I was able to whack a couple of fish, so I was really excited about that. And catching something on the Scrounger head, which is new to me and something that I'm gonna have a lot of fun throwing. And if you guys hadn't checked out that quiver 6.5 from Missile Baits, man, that thing is great. Works great on a bladed jig. I've caught them on drop shot. I've got a video of that in there somewhere. Anyway, until next time, guys, I'll see you then. Stay warm and have a good one. Bye bye. Now get out there and get your lures wet.